Bill Murray?
Yeah, I've never hit a kid before. I mean, that's like asking who Gandhi is.
Who's Gandhi?
You're listening to Comics Podcasting on the edge of civility.
You're listening to The Mean Geek, episode 173.
Well, now that we're all here,
Hello.
now the day is done and we can talk comic books. Hello everyone, this is the Tech Jedi, Adrian Hunter. Along with me as always is my good partner, the Reverend Mad Duck. Bill
Hola.
Davis. And we're going to talk some DC Comics for you.
Yay for DC.
Before that, however, we're going to talk about some neat shit from New York Comic Con Special Edition!
That was a pretty goddamn
It was an excellent show. I was very happy with that shit. They put it in the North Javits Center, which is pretty much the Javits ghetto for artists when they have the big show. Because they have all those anime schmucks running around.
You know what? That's not... I mean, I totally agree with the anime schmuck part, but it's not entirely fair. Because with the distinct lack of celebrities...
Yeah.
And the lack of vendors...
Yeah.
And by vendors, I mean, like, the horrible, horrible Nextel booth. And
Yeah. And the leather bustier booth that shouldn't belong at a fucking Comic-Con.
that weird, like, how to fence... That, like,
Hey.
no, I'm not mocking that, but, you know, remember that, like, just how long can you hold this sword thing?
Oh, that was Geek Calisthenics.
Oh,
That was actually a fitness routine for nerds.
vaguely amusing.
Yeah.
But, again, like, it's not just that they cut anime out, they cut the crap out. And some of the
Yes.
stuff that people go for, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
If
say
they want to go for it, they can go for it.
But this was strictly for comics, and it was legitimately
Yes,
awesome.
It was really good.
Could get to almost everyone. Darwin Cook was a no-show.
Yeah.
Which sucked, but at the same time, I'm wondering how well we would have done getting to him. The only people we did not manage to see that we tried to,
Right?
I mean, there are a couple people we didn't try. We gave up near the end, but the Aldreds had a ridiculous line,
Yep.
or weren't there, and
Brian Wood was nowhere to be seen.
yeah, but we didn't. By the time we never even checked the board for him. To be fair, we just when we did the once around, twice around, we never saw him.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's like I don't care anymore.
Right. Like
and
usual.
Jerry Ordway was impossible.
Is impossible to get
But
to.
that's only because he is ridiculously awesome.
Yeah. And
Like-
we were only like 6 people back, and we were there for like an hour in line.
Because he makes no one, I mean no one, draws for everybody without charging. Like,
This motherfucker does.
Jerry Ordway is the nicest dude in comics, and most of the people I've met were pretty goddamn nice, but that's ridiculous awesome. Like, oh, you want a sketch? I'd be happy to draw a fucking 18-minute long Superman telling you the coolest stories ever.
It's
all the
true,
while,
true.
like, we were in that line for 25 minutes without moving.
Not a lick. Not an inch.
But
I took like 15 pictures while I got pictures of Ultron, which was a great costume. by
that
the
was a
way.
great costume.
Which you can see at www.themeangeek.com.
Not as many pictures. There were costumes. A lot of them were.
And you know, it makes me wonder. And I know that a lot of people are going to call horseshit on this, but this is my simple observation, and I'm not granting too many judgments on this. On the bigger shows that are everybody, that are pop culture shows, thousands of cosplayers all the time. This show that was announced as specifically focused to and all about comics, there was maybe, 30 people that dressed up?
No, there were way more. There were a lot of. There weren't as many enormous, like, detail, big costumes. There are a lot of people in like a handmade this or that. There were nowhere near as many. Oh my God! Look at that costume moments.
Yeah,
And you
that
got
is
pictures
true.
of it, a lot of them. But there were definitely a lot of people you didn't think. Because a lot of them were there as fans and they weren't looking for the photo moment.
I suppose. The volume didn't seem there, and I'm trying to figure out if that's a proportion of the overall attendance volume or some other factor, you know? It's very difficult to tell. And some people will say, you're not supposed to, determine, you're not the judge of whether somebody's a fan of comics or not. No, all I can say is I saw less cosplayers at the one that was nothing but comics. That's all I can say. That's my observation.
No, there were definitely well, I mean, like I said, there were a lot of ones that weren't that detailed. And there was actually a pretty good female Jane that was obviously there to recruit people for a documentary or some sort of video thing.
Yeah, but that's one thing. I mean, there was the Kamala was cool. The Kamala Khan was cool. The the fucking Gozer was great.
The Gozer was great. The Ghostbuster is actually really good. I know
Yeah.
you skipped him just because the Gozer was way better.
Yes.
The Shredder was amazing.
The Shredder was awesome.
The Rocketeer was even better.
Yep, that's all true. But so far, we're talking less than 10 people.
There was a good black cat that we didn't get a picture of. There was there were a lot of Poison Ivies, and there were a few anime people still.
Yeah.
And then there were just some very stylized, and we weren't 100% sure is that a costume or a lifestyle choice.
Right.
And that does happen.
And either one is fine, to be sure, but,
you just don't want to take a picture of a
couldn't
lifestyle
be
choice.
sure, you know?
Excuse me while I get a quick shot of... Oh, no, never mind.
The Fett was cool. He
Yeah,
had
it was a really good
costume.
But there were definitely a lot of... mediocre sounds mean, but people who got dressed up for fun, and more power to them, but they weren't there for like, oh my God, stop and let me get a picture.
There were definitely not any professional cosplayers there, which, you know...
There was no costume contest. There was no...
Right, there's no contest, there's no parade, nothing like that. So, it was the absolute... I don't even know how to describe it.
But
It seemed disproportionately low.
No, most of the professionals were amazing. Francavilla continues to be awesome.
Yeah, it was so great, man. I got 6 books done by him.
10.
I personally, that day.
No, I got 10.
Holy shit, he let you do 10?
Well, remember, I went twice.
Oh, that's right. I hate you. You're a giant jerk, Bill.
I brought them knowing I would never hand a guy 10 books, like ever. But we finally got Frank Cho, which has been a pain in the ass for freaking
I've got
2
a
years.
few Chos. I didn't bother bringing a Cho because I don't own a lot of Chos I give a shit about. You know, Mighty Avengers was a fun book in its time, but I don't remember much that happened in it. So, despite how good his art is, whatever he does, those books don't mean anything.
Well, I
to
brought
me.
a couple from the first storyline that he did, which was the when Ultron shows
Yeah.
up as the Wasp.
You're right. Yeah, with a singularly unnecessary, sexy Ultron.
Dude, you've wanted to bang Ultron for decades.
Not till it had those Cho hips. What? Did I say that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, sadly you did.
No, stop. So yeah, you got Cho's autograph.
I did insanely well with autographs.
I kept it very narrow because I didn't want to carry a lot of weight because I just sprained my fucking ankle.
No, I
really wasn't certain if I was going to make it that whole day.
I brought a ton of stuff, and I got a ridiculously strong amount of it signed.
Yeah.
It was heavy as fuck, but
Remind me about your, how should I say, adventure in the Chaikin line.
oh well, Chaikin is an experience, and I'm not saying that to mock him because I think it's very cool. Like, he legitimately likes talking to people, and when people come up to his line, like, he shares and he talks about things that a lot of the artists, like, you get a lot of like, hey, how's your day, da 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 da, back and forth,
Right.
little details.
Uh-huh.
Some people open up a little bit more than others, but Jagan like has real conversations with people, which is awesome. But as I sit there waiting for an autograph for 40 minutes.
40 minutes is excessive, man. And he was kind of sketching a little bit, and he would stop for long periods and talk.
No, he definitely did, and he would apologize. He literally even apologized to me, and like I wasn't paying the dude. I was just sitting there like, please sign these. And he was kind of impressed with how obscure the shit that I brought was.
Which was?
Oh, dude, I got a freaking some random thing that I don't even remember. Star Reach. I got a Star Reach that he did signed. I got a Dominic Fortune
Monarch.
Yes, Monarch Star Stalker.
Which is just a horrible name. Absolutely terrible.
He has a robotic cyber eagle, for God's sake. So or hawk, whichever you prefer.
It's not even the C like a normal monarch.
I got a paperback novelization of the Star Wars comics that he and Goodwin did,
which I am so jealous of. Until I realized that, oh yeah, I've already got my 1 through 4 Star Wars.
Do you have
signed.
all 1 through 4?
Yep. Now, to be sure, 1 is third print. 2 is second print.
Yeah, I have second or third print for the few I have in that period.
Yeah.
And then I got a Further Adventures of Indiana Jones signed.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, very random, ridiculous tag. It made me very happy.
And there was an experience being in that line alone. Let Chaykin be by himself. The other people in that line were just like...
You lost your time. Like, I've rarely seen you be like, dude, fuck this. Like, we had to quit Ordway's line because it just wasn't moving.
Yeah, there was nothing to be done with Ordway's line.
The thing in this scenario was, like, these people were paying him. Like, I can't, in good conscience, interrupt somebody who's having, they're there to make money. Like, it's nice to sign things and meet fans, but if you're actually making money for someone, I can't, in good conscience, be like, hey, I just want your autograph. Like, that's just fucked to me.
I suppose.
Don't think for a second I didn't think, like, fuck, man, I could totally interrupt this dude and leave.
Your house is haunted, dude. Weird lights are just turning off at random. I don't know what's going on here. It's freaking me out, man. I don't know what to do, man.
Game over, man. No, it was a great show. Found some, and with only comic vendors, finding good shit was
quite surprising. There was, I want to say 6 booths actually selling comics.
If not more. I actually didn't check out a lot because I did so well in the few that I checked that I was
yeah,
like,
I only bought stuff from 2 people.
I did more than that because I did find a guy with magazines, for God's sake.
Yeah, which is where you really made out the craziness.
Yes. Not necessarily the best things I got, but I did get some Doc Savage magazines. I got a ton of Simpson Thors, including I completed the original run before he was writing, when he was just artist. Which half the people don't even know about. So, I even replaced in the dollar box the very first one he had that I have signed, so that I have a reading copy of it.
There you go.
Because I'm that tool. Bunch of Shang-Chi's, some Grus, early Grus. I got a Gru 10 that I didn't have.
I got a bunch of trades. I was quite happy to get the Dark Phoenix Saga before it was called the Dark Phoenix Saga.
Back when it was just a graphic novel?
Back when it was just an oversized graphic.
Yep.
84. That was a 84 printing.
I have a couple old...
you never find those.
No, that was neat. And
I got them
particularly in the half off. So,
yeah.
$3.
I got Star Wars Legacy trade paperbacks, Volume 2, 1 and 2. One of which I got signed by Betchko and Hardman.
Very
so that
cool.
was nice. I enjoyed that.
You did get a really nice signed copy of the most recent Mice Templar.
Yes. That thing, you could kill somebody with that book.
Dude, they put a lot
the
of
paper
effort into
is
those
so
graphics.
high quality, and the printing is great. Holy crap!
Dude, that is all of their printings have been quality.
And, you know, Glass put a little sketch in it.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was fun. And I got a little thing I've never heard of them from him and Omen called 86 Volts.
Oh, you did buy that?
Yes.
Okay.
Which 64 pages, maybe 48, somewhere in there. Is definitely bigger than a couple of normal books, but it's not like a 6-issue, normal trade. It's about this woman who sacrifices her kid in some kind of experiment and then brings her back to life by shocking her right at the moment of death. So the body is alive, but the soul is left, and there's only 86 volts of energy in the body or something. It's not the drug trip he described, because what he was describing to me was pretty much sober Morrison. And I'm like, okay,
no. That's what you said. And he's like, well, I don't know about that.
Well,
he did pull back from that precipice.
No, I didn't say he said that.
No, fair enough.
I was saying what he described was...
But to his credit, when you said, "Oh, it's sober Morrison," he's like, "I don't know if I would go that far," which made me laugh. No, it was a good show. Everyone was really nice. All the artists were really nice. Kurt Busiek now hates me, but that's not my fault.
Well, you got... No, why would he hate you?
Because I saw the book on his table and thought it was Peter David's table.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right.
Nobody wants to be mistaken for Peter David. But I didn't mistake. I told you where he was. I knew it was him. But Soul Searchers. I'm like, oh, Peter David, and then Kurt Busiek.
And to be fair, they're bigger, older, furrier guys.
It's not entirely dissimilar, but I guarantee you don't listen to the podcast, Kurt Busiek. But in my defense, it was the Soul Searchers and not you that made me go Peter David.
Now when I got in line, there was the prototypical older Alterna nerd there. The guy with the long hair, unkept, not in a ponytail or nothing, just flowing halfway down his back like a majestic fucking eagle feathers. The round glasses that he has to keep pushing up, and the beard that he's got, shaved down just to the jawline, And he's just like, yeah, man, here's a big stack of books for you. And, 8 of them weren't even his.
Now, did he pull those out? Or?
Well, he was signing. It was like Astro City, Astro City, Astro City, 6 Aquamans that I have nothing to do with. That's literally what he said. He said, boom, 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 6 Aquamans I have nothing to do with.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, that stack's awful big. Can I interrupt you for just a minute? Because you're having a good conversation, and I don't want to interrupt the conversation, but I got to go. It's like, no, it's cool. Just give me them. And I gave him yours and mine, and he's like, hey, this fucking stack's almost the same, man. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
At least they were all by Busiek, though.
Yeah, they were all his. And I was like, kind of disappointed that he wasn't shocked or dismayed or impressed that I brought those first JLAs. I'm like, you should have said something, man. He says, I brought back Paragon. I don't give a fuck about Paragon. I want the reaction when I give somebody a book. When I bring up a stupid old-ass book that nobody remembers or cares about, I expect somebody to say, why'd you bring me that? Or, I remember this is great. I want something. Give me a deuce, anything.
I get awesome reactions, but half the time I'm not there for them.
Yeah, you noticed that, did you?
Yep. The Italian Mignola got a great reaction. You brought it. I had to stay home. That was all. I didn't even know they printed it in this language. Fuck, man.
That was good shit.
No, I didn't get a lot. Like, Jacob being like, this is a weird pile, was like as good as I got. My favorite Busiek, though, was the one time that I went to Seattle with you. And you didn't bring anything by Busiek because you're like, dude, that guy's too hard to get to.
I truly thought he would be.
And he was literally like 8 tables down from us by
It wasn't
himself.
even 8 tables. He was across the aisle and one more table over.
Doing dick all.
Nothing.
And didn't I make you buy a Conan graphic so you got something?
And I did. It's like, yeah, this is great stuff, Kurt. Thanks, man. And that's when he revealed to me that Astro City was coming back, and I'm like, fuck yeah!
That's right.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, fuck yeah.
Yep, I got. Kurt's fun, man. Like he like Matt Wagner plays with covers, but like Kurt signed Marvel's 4 for me with the Green Goblin on the cover.
Nice.
Not this time though.
At Emerald.
Yeah, and he had written on it like, "Bill, I'm coming for you next."
Yeah.
But this time I had him sign one of the Conans, and he had his name coming out of one of the guy's mouth with Conan's foot on his neck. You got to enjoy that.
Well, that's a good long talk about that. How about we actually get to some books?
And speaking of not enjoying, all right. So what's first on our agenda?
Well, we're going to do a large initial review of Batman Eternal. 1, 2, and in fact, 3.
Now this is a weekly book.
This is a weekly book, and I only got 1 through 8.
Is it an ongoing?
If they made that determination, they have not put it down in previews. So, if they had only gone to like 32 issues, then I might have gone the distance. But I wasn't sure, and the solicitations that Snyder did on Twitter said it was going to be the biggest, craziest Batman stuff you can possibly imagine, which right off turned me off.
Right.
You know that I prefer most of my Batman stories to be smaller and more personal and street level.
All right. Here we go. Batman Eternal. Yes, I'm using Wikipedia for my source, so feel free to mock me, world.
Who cares? They get more things right than most people think. It's only the controversial shit that anyone cares about. Nobody cares that bromine has fucking 4 electrons. No one's going to debate that on fucking Wikipedia.
Batman Eternal is a year-long weekly limited series published by DC.
All right, well, not in it for the long haul. I've had it with their year-long weeklies, man. 52, the few I got were okay. Countdown was generally reviled. Trinity sucked bowls. So I'm not dealing. 1 out of 4 is not a good record for yearly weeklies.
Yeah, but you know what? The first 3 were pretty goddamn
First
good.
3 were. I was severely impressed, man. Unfortunately, they had Professor Pig in there, but
You love
whatever.
yourself some Pig.
I hate myself some Pig, and don't ever use that sentence again in any context. Or I will punch you in the neck.
Pork?
What?
Pork?
You will twist that into some other bizarro fucking. Don't play Mr. Innocent with me. No, don't get all ethically offended there. Where the hell was I?
Professor Pig.
Yes. Bats is being held and tortured somewhere in the future, it seems. I wasn't sure. That part wasn't clear to me.
Well, the timeline in DC is so clear and precise.
Yeah. But here and now, anyway, Pig is committing some kind of crime, and he's clearly dosed Gordon, who fires a shot that could possibly have run 2 subway cars together, but how?
There's nothing in his bloodstream.
There's nothing in his bloodstream that says he's dosed, and the reason he fired was because he hallucinated the guy he was firing at had a gun.
And hit
some kind of circuit box, and somehow that tripped the subways, which only run in one direction, to somehow jump tracks, which don't happen on fucking subways.
There's explosions left and right.
So he has to get arrested, and he's taken into custody because he just killed a shitload of fucking people.
Not to mention that somehow the guy he shot at did not have a gun.
Yeah, well, he hallucinated
video.
the gun. Yeah, on the video he didn't have a gun. So he was dosed somehow. They just haven't figured out how. So that happens all through 1. And in the aftermath of the subway in 2, they call in the Bat family, and there's this mysterious figure who talks to the old mayor, and Deacon Blackfire appears out of fucking nowhere, which
Dude, I haven't even thought
blows
about
my
that guy.
fucking mind.
When is the last time?
I know he did appear in regular Bat books at some point. I want to say it was in the early 2000s. I can't remember precisely.
I've never read a Deacon Blackfire story.
Deacon Blackfire appears to Dr. Phosphorus, of all people. What the hell is he showing up for? And Catwoman confronts Bats, and Carmine Falcone is fucking back, which was pretty cool. You know, if you want to have some gangsters running around, you should probably have Carmine Falcone. So I'm okay. So far, I'm okay. Now, they finally figured out, all right, people have been clamoring for it. We need to bring back Stephanie Brown. Now, what I didn't know about Stephanie Brown, and I don't know if this is the new continuity or the old continuity, but she's the fucking Clue Master's kid.
That's always been.
That's always been?
Yep.
All right. What's even less clear to me personally is her mother is also in league with the Clue Master. Stephanie overhears it was Clue Master and a bunch of other like fourth stringer fucking villains and a couple of random thugs planning out a new crime. So like, you know, we got to kill the kid, yo. And Clue Master's like, fine. Whatever.
You know, I did not love that. Pre the New 52, the Clue Master was a wacky, failed Batman villain.
Yes.
And even when they used him seriously, he loved his daughter. He didn't try and shoot her in the face.
Right.
Not a big fan of that. That came out of left field.
A little bit.
For the record, Deacon Blackfire was in The Cult.
Yeah.
So I actually not only have read it, but own it. And then he was in Blackest Night, Batman, which you refused to read.
No, I read it. I just didn't dig it.
Oh, okay, that's it.
I was wrong about the time frame, but he did come back. So, I was kind of right. Bad Cop number 1 argues with Harvey a little bit, and Sawyer breaks it up. Bats visits the Penguin.
Let's not forget, Detective Bard makes his appearance in the Gotham universe.
Detective Bard.
The new recruit of Gordon's who's coming in and joining throughout this whole storyline.
Yeah. Why is he
he's-
important? Why is he important?
He's been a member of Gotham PD for some time, but this, of course, is the New 52, so they're reintroducing. But
whatever.
since considering he appears in all 3 issues, we can surmise that he may be a larger part of the storyline.
Could be. Now, the commish and, what was it, Bad Cop number 1, they decided, I guess, I'm unclear, because this is a month and a half ago I read this.
The mayor appoints Major something, I don't remember his name, who is obviously a ex-Falcone shit,
Shit heel?
Yeah, we were on top of the world when organized crime. And if a freak showed up in a costume, we put 2 in the back of the head, banged a chorus girl, and smoked some menthol cools.
None of which was said in the book. But would have been far cooler.
All implied. Entirely implied. But this jackhole becomes the new commissioner.
And they decide, you know what, let the costumes fight it out. We don't even care. Which is, kind of standard around here, I guess. Nobody cares.
But it's interesting that Falcone still has the scars, so obviously some of what happened in Long Halloween
Yeah?
is still canon.
Right?
It's interesting how they just pick and choose what they want to keep in these scenarios.
Yeah, it's it's both smart and disconcerting. It's hard to tell where they're going to fuck with you and where they're not,
Falcone's alive, but Catwoman still carved him up in the storyline that both happened and didn't happen.
Right.
Is there a holiday? I don't know.
There kind of has to be, unless they're going to retroactively, retrograde that fucking retro story. Can I throw any more retros in there?
I don't know.
I think
They
I
do.
can.
It's And this is what I don't like about DC is, and I don't understand why the books are doing so well when they're so haphazard about these things. Like, I don't need complete continuity, but lazy continuity is awful.
Yes.
I remember reading when DC first came out, you had Red Hood and the Outlaws, and they're referring to the Teen Titans, and they mentioned Vic, whereas meanwhile in Justice League 1, Vic is forming...
Yeah. But
like,
we
becoming Cyborg.
I thought it was silly to, initialize your universe with several books that were current, so to speak, in quotation marks, and your big flagship book happening 5 fucking years ago. It seems silly to me.
There's just an inherent laziness in that level of disorganization, and little
really
things like
is.
that do irk me. But Batman Eternal,
Having said all that,
damn good.
yeah.
Well, it's got a great team on it. The art is
severely
awesome.
impressed by it. I'm kind of mad I only got up to 8.
Well, I don't think there'll be, at a weekly issue, I'm sure there'll be enough floating around. You'll be able to fill in.
Yeah, probably. I don't know if I'll last the entire year, but I'll try a few more after.
If it stays this good through 8, then we're going to a comic shop and picking up the ones we missed. Like,
Pretty
that's
much,
solid.
yeah. Yep. All right. So that's the judgment on that. Now, honestly, I was expecting a bit more out of Secret Origins.
Okay, see, now when we originally talked in a non-podcast kind of way,
Yep.
you were kind of high on it.
Not that much. No. It was,
You liked it more than you thought you would, I guess.
that is true, but it still didn't exactly reach a high watermark.
It's very well written.
It's not the It Is Balloon episode
No.
of F Troop. There's nothing.
Chuckles the clown.
There's nothing that matches the ensemble work with the Hakawi tribe here.
Wow. I cannot believe you made an F Troop reference.
2 people get that.
It is well written and well drawn. Like, there are 3 stories in the first issue,
Right. Soups, Robin, and Supergirl.
and all of them take kind of interesting takes.
A little bit. They're fully competent. They're just not standout.
Well, first off, like, if you really needed a retelling of Superman's origin,
You're so far behind that you really desperately need this book.
like, I didn't even think that's not even... And Robin, like, these are not subtle, like... Now, I get, particularly considering that the 52 hasn't introduced a whole bunch of people. You're not going to get Blue Beetle here.
Right. Not for a while.
Fine, I get that, but really, 2 or 3 of these characters' origins are freaking, like, Comics 101. Superman's origin is as well known as Shakespeare and Sherlock Holmes.
It really is. Nobody's forgetting. So everyone, pick a random schmo on the street. They can tell you Superman was the baby Kal-El sent away from the exploding Krypton because nobody believed this pop. And nobody can't tell you Superman's origin. Less people can tell you Robin's origin,
But still a great many.
but a lot of them can.
There was a really good use of the Robin in the origin, which was handy.
Yeah, that was different, and that was appreciated.
And I like the fact that Superman's origin used his 2 mothers to kind of move the story along nicely.
Right, because it's almost always focused on Jor-El.
Yeah. So that there were some nice aspects in the Elle and the Kent mothers.
Yeah. Kara, however, I almost fell asleep reading.
Well, first off, I did not know her origin. Like, I know, I'm Superman's cousin. I knew that, but
Well, I mean, they've redone it a couple of times.
her origin is a lot more confusing. Like,
They've had severe problems with her origin.
because
the
it's a
base
dumb
one-
concept.
Well, the base one is either she got sent away just before or just after, or Kandor or Argo City was captured by Brainiac before the planet blew up. That's most of the basis that most of her origins come from.
But her mom trying to shoot the dad for experimenting on the dog.
That's totally new, and that's totally weird.
Yeah. So everything in Secret Origins was done by comic professionals. It wasn't some sort of C-level fill out 8 pages.
Yeah, I mean, Pack, Bedard, Higgins, Weeks, Monkey.
Dude, Weeks looked great.
He really did.
I'm looking. This is not the same Lee Weeks who did Daredevil 300. Like, what the hell is going on here? I don't know who was inking him, but you need to fucking lock that dude down.
Yep.
Like, yeah, y'all
Nail
a
him
team.
down. So that was good. I appreciated most of it. There's a couple of things, but yeah, I guess how do you not have Superman in the first book called Secret Origins? I mean, you can't wait till number 12 to get Superman in there.
I suppose,
You
but
know?
it just really. I'm like, dude, you do something.
Again, you know.
Is Batman in number 2?
I don't remember.
Oh, that's a good sign.
Yeah, well, it was several weeks ago already, so whatever. That's why I write shit down, you know. But it's a decent enough book. We'll see who keeps coming through. I mean, back in the 80s when Secret Origins first started as an ongoing, I stuck with it like 12 issues before I was like, who the fuck is this character and why do I care?
See, the great ones were the random ones. Like, Secret Origins is one of the great dollar box.
Yeah.
I have
That's
a few,
true.
I have a few still. I gave most of them to you when we did the I kept the all Rogue one from Flash's Rogues with the Mignola cover. That was awesome. And I have the Ambush Bug one by Giffen, which also has Stanley and His Monster by Phil Folio.
Oh my god, I totally forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, Secret Origins was at its best when it was just insanely obscure. Oh, I think I kept the All Monkey issue too with Detective Chimp and Grud.
Oh my god, that existed. Holy shit! And you know, I didn't when I first picked up the Shazam Secret Origins off the racks in Kenny General. I knew that I had seen Shazam before on Saturday mornings,
Right.
but I knew precisely dick about him. So that was actually useful to me when it came out.
Yeah, I mean, there are characters like Hawkman where it's like, yeah, please fucking clear this shit
Yeah,
up. Like,
tell me what the deal is
Are you a
here.
deity or an alien or just a
Yeah,
Republican?
except that
Like,
even in '86, they screwed that up and screwed it up continually since till the fucking new 52.
no, but yeah, like that. Secret
you a
Origins is
Republican?
at its best when it's bizarre. And Superman and Robin are just not bizarre.
Yeah, not quite enough. Now, what we got is the resurgence now of American Vampire. And I'm kind of happy about that, which means I can go get all the rest of the American Vampires in trade, call it even, and I can start fresh again. And what's that look on your face for?
Now, when did you decide to drop American?
30, we dropped American Vampire and Unwritten at the same time, which was 35, 36.
Okay.
Because I was like, it's an even 3 years, that's fine.
It was a money thing because it was still a good book at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the last storyline we got was the 50s Greaser Kid.
And then you started to buy,
The miniseries.
but then they kind of fell to the
yeah,
wayside.
they kind of petered out, and it was difficult to determine whether they were even being published or not. So, I still don't know if they finished.
Because I remember Lord of the Vampires, you got 2 of one, so I ended up
yeah,
in one.
there was the Nazi one and,
Yeah.
the one in London one. Yeah. So, fucking lights are creeping me out, dude. What the...
It's a unique experience, isn't it?
It's a weird house, dude. And you're stuck with it for 30 fucking years. You made a crazy decision, yo. But this time around, we have this really kind of odd prelude where Native Americans are slaughtered without a clear reason. No, I totally didn't understand what was happening.
I think
there.
they're introducing the new villain, the Grey Walker.
All right, I suppose.
So the first thing we established is he's American, and he's been around as long as Skinner Sweet. I think is hence why they're using Indians.
All right. So, having established that, they then move forward to Pearl, who's running pretty much a safe house now for vampire kids. and they're following this one vampire child through the cornfields who's being chased by, random pitchfork motherfuckers, because you can't have a vampire or a monster not being chased by pitchfork torch-bearing motherfuckers anymore. It's not possible. That's all of number 1. What happens in 2?
2, you have... She meets a contact from the Vamp Society, the anti-vampire squad.
Right.
Well, who has been getting papers to these vampires, because now they're working with them against the Catharthians,
the Carpathians?
Carpathians, thank you. All I can think of is Ghostbusters 2.
Vigo the Carpathian. How did I get 3 in there? Where's number 2?
But, meanwhile, the newest vampire child reveals a very strange bite on her back.
Very strange.
And the Grey Walker, Grey Dancer, whatever the hell they call the guy, is mentioned. And apparently he's uber fucking scary.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to have various scariness going on with vampires.
And
there's always one that's older and more powerful
and
for a
this
given
is
region.
the one. Apparently he is the first one and is therefore the devil. And we end with the little girl turning into a giant fuck monster.
Phrase that some other way.
Oh, good point, yeah. Dude, it's a fucking monster, okay? Like, that shit did not look right. Like, when a 6-year-old vampire girl is flinging other kids around and 8 times their size, like, you should be nervous.
Yes, you should be very nervous. But, the other thing we should be nervous about is what's happening in fucking Unwritten. Holy crap. Start me off with number 3 here while I find what I wrote down.
In Unwritten, basically, Tommy and his team, the T-Team, as I like to call them for the first time ever.
You do not.
Not
You've
once.
never said, the T-Team.
But,
you giant jack.
are trapped in a London being
Here it is.
overrun by stories of people invading England.
Right.
So you got orcs in the sewer,
Nazi zombies.
French. Basically,
The French.
everybody who's ever invaded England in fiction is invading England. And Tommy and his pesky team are off against it.
The Scooby. They escape while the evil High Command summon Pullman with a bundle of sticks.
Well,
Which is, kind of ritualistic, literary kind
Right.
of thing that happens in
plus,
folklorish
we're
stuff.
not entirely sure what happened to Pullman since we never finished Unwritten, the original.
Right, but I got those next 2 trades, so we will find out.
So, it was definitely a little vague. But they're trying to find their way out. The vampire has sex with a ghost in the shower, which was not a sentence I ever anticipated saying.
Ever. But the great thing is, at the end, the kids, Livy and the others, escape because the Martians from H.G. Wells show up and create a diversion.
That was pretty amusing.
I enjoyed that.
No, I also like the part where Tommy has a dream where his sidekicks are his sidekicks from the novel.
Yes.
And he meets that weird puppeteer lady who needs either his blood or his other fluid to make her living dolls more realistic.
It gets weirder and more convoluted by the sentence.
It's complicated. We also see Polly Bruckner in non-rabbit form, fiending his rabbit form.
Yes, which is definitely odd, to say the least. Tommy argues with his dad a bit and determines that he needs to dream so he can meet this old woman who has Leviathan's baby, and he empowers her Wonder Army with blood or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
It's a strange,
It's
complicated.
good, but it's odd.
Which is why we originally switched to graphics.
Yes.
Because it's like, well, you know what? I need this all at once. Like, this once a month trying to figure this shit out is too goddamn hard.
It is, man. But I enjoy it so much.
It is a great book.
I can't put it down while I'm actually in it. I don't always fucking get it, but I mean, that's what I do now. Is I read it, I let it simmer, and I reread it while I'm writing down the summaries.
Now, when you have books like this that are that convoluted, do you
Yeah.
not file them so you can go back and read them in a group?
Oh no, God no. One day I'll go through all of them together and stuff, but
Getting stuff in order is more important than actually understanding it.
yes. I had something written down for the Wake, I think.
Dude,
The Wake has gotten so odd and off, and I just... What are you talking
our new
about
lead
anymore,
character is trapped in a prison ship with her bartender, uncle, father figure, where they work the oars. She gets lippy, so they throw her in the damn water where a dolphin saves her from being eaten by mare people. And this whole time, it's like, dude, I don't care.
No, I've totally given up. If it wasn't for the fact that there's only one more, I would totally stop.
I like
reading
Snyder.
this
The
fucking
art
book.
is awesome, but it's like, dude, I'm not sympathetic with any of you people.
No, don't care about a single one of the characters. Don't understand what this supposed signal she's searching for is all about.
Dude, you can't stop the signal.
No, Mal, you can't.
But yeah, The Wake started off interesting, and it slowly just dwindled to a point where I'm like, dude, just
Yeah, just stop. Just stop.
no more mare people, giant mermaidians.
It's a future where semis run dirigibles, and there's this like Michigan militia kind of fucking thing. It's just she eventually meets the cast of HMS Pinafore.
Dude, it's like a redneck Waterworld, and I'm all set with that.
Man. It totally is. That's it right there.
Did you just say the words Waterworld and redneck? I'm out. O-U-T out.
It's so fucking true, dude. But we do in fact move on to something that makes a little bit of sense now.
What do we got?
With Astro City 10, which concludes our Winged Victory storyline. In kind of an easy way, though?
Well, the depth of the writing is more important than... The thing is, you can't look at Astro City like a comic book in the strictest sense of the term. Like, the plot of the comic is secondary to the plot of the point.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about Winged Victory beating Carnazon.
It's about... It's
Which is
more,
a horrible name, by the way.
that's a terrible name. It's more about her telling the Nike Council, go fuck yourselves.
But it's also about the fact that recognizing that Winged Victory is fighting women's battles with a guy who's trying to fight men's battles. He's like, I'm just going to punch you. Like, making a point doesn't matter.
No, on top of the fact that he has a bad point.
Right. Like, it's like, I am the man, so I'm the superior, and which is what comics became for so long.
It really did.
It's like, it's not about, go, and she even says, it's like, go back to doing things. Stop being a thing.
She essentially said you had goals.
Yep, you broke into Fort Knox. You tried to take over small countries. That's a villain.
And now you're just proving your manhood somehow, and it's not really working, so figure something else out.
Stop being a dill hole. Like, I'm sorry that you're a giant half monkey guy with Fabio's hair. Like, I don't know.
Wow. Holy crap. Did you just say that again?
I'm sorry you're a giant monkey guy with Fabio's hair.
Wow. I don't even know how to handle that.
Well, Carnazon really threw me because I'm like, dude, why are you so way more cartoony than everybody else in the storyline? Like,
He really is the least dimensional villain he's ever come up with.
I don't know.
And it was certainly on purpose. He was cognizant he was creating a one-dimensional character.
Well, you know what? I think sometimes he gets trapped because you throw out 4,000 concepts and then suddenly you hit a storyline, you need one of them. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck, I gave this guy no depth. Like, what was that villain that Jack in the Box fought? Brass Monkey? The guy got trapped in a monkey statue?
Crap, I forgot about him.
Yeah, that happened.
That happened.
But it was an excellent one, and that's followed up with the Doctor Strange,
the
Professor Fate character.
Astro City's resident hardcore sorceress.
But again, it's about the side telling. So, of course, this is the story of her social secretary and media consultant or whatever. You got a bull with a bee beard, which is just not normal.
Well, the sorcerer's assistant. Yeah, they got the Minotaur in there, who just kind of is confused by most things that are happening in the house.
But then again, you had Rintra, the Doctor Strange's green bull assistant,
true.
for years. Busek takes concepts that you've already seen and just turns them slightly to the left, and it's amazing. And I'm sorry that you think that I thought you were Peter David. Like, I still feel that. You shouldn't have had Soul Searchers on your table. Like,
she doesn't actually have a bad name. I mean, there's a lot of it's very difficult to give somebody a cool name these days. They've all been taken. They've been taken for 75 fucking years. Once somebody came up with Superman and Batman and Flash, it was over. You know, it was just riffs on man after that.
Nobody's
forever.
used Turtle Man yet.
Are you sure?
No.
They used Turtle Boy.
It's not Turtle Man.
Jimmy Olsen. I'm sure in the New 52 there's no room for a Turtle Man, though.
I would read a Turtle Man book.
You would, but they would never publish it. Because the New 52 is a humorous wasteland. How many times have you giggled at anything in a New 52 book? Unironically.
Oh, well, then never mind. Dude, I laughed at Red Hood a lot.
Not because it was terrible, because it was comedy.
No, that has
Never. That's the answer. Silver Adept is not a bad name.
Better than Silver Sorcerers.
Much better than Silver Sorcerers. Especially since she wore brown. That was terrible. So, the assistant's minding her own business one day while the Silver Adept is out saving the universe or some shit and totally not keeping all her appointments. And this Slimer dupe-looking guy comes in looking for her. And she's like, she ain't fucking here, dude. What do you want? It's like, but we need... I need her help, dude.
Shit has gotten complicated. No.
There's war. The land is not going to be spared. Disrespect is not going to go unpunished. She was supposed to meet me here.
This is why, this entire issue explains why Wong has always wanted to donkey punch Doctor Strange. Just watch him walk by, Ninja Strike.
She finally, the assistant finally had to remind Silver Adept, look, man, you got this place where you can go that compresses time. And if you go in there, you can get a shitload of stuff done. Come back and still accomplish stuff. Which was pretty cool.
Dude, the great thing about magic books is how easy it is to come up with a resolution. The fiery flames of Hogarth.
The flames of Faltine will fucking straighten you out.
Crimson Bands of Sitarak were my personal favorite.
There you go. Crimson Bands of Sitarak. Killing me.
I will hold you, Dormammu, with the Crimson Bands of Sitarak. Kids, this is this is Dr. T.O. Morrow with your comic science moment. Don't do drugs or magic. Thank you.
Don't do drugs or magic.
This has been Dr. T.O. Morrow with your comic science moment. I can't believe I started to say professor. You tell we haven't recorded in a while.
You've had some beers. It's late. So, Detective 30. Wayne joins this partnership to rebuild the East End, like street crusader style.
I want to show you before you go any further.
Yeah?
What I wrote down for Detective Comics 30.
Holy shit, you got... Oh, you wrote down nothing.
Because nothing goddamn happened.
There's this random crappy subplot about drug dealers.
Yeah, there's some drug dealers that are trying way too hard to be street. An 18-year-old extreme sports athlete whose mother's a genius billionaire that wants freaking Wayne to team up. Like, what the fuck? This is putting the detective back to detective, my ruby red ass.
Really? You a baboon?
Shit, yeah. Because I'm going to fling shit at something in about 4 seconds.
What, you're going to send the books back to DC?
No. Oh! No, now this is taken over by Manipul, who's been hot on the Flash book,
Right.
which we started and couldn't stand.
Right. But he wasn't on it when we started it.
Fair enough. And I'm hopeful, like, they are doing real criminals. Like, they were too badly street, to be fair. And, like, like not one costume or wackiness. Fine, So if you're going to do real crime and mysteries, I'm okay with that. But just as a general rule of thumb, keep extreme sports out of comic books. Like, anybody you have on a fucking skateboard regrets that.
Yeah, this is not 1993 anymore, man.
Dude.
That's 20 fucking years ago. People born when we had extreme sports can buy their own booze now.
All right.
Fuck that.
When Mountain Dew considered itself extreme, you should have fucking pieced together you should not. Don't lump yourself in with Mountain Dew. Batman and Mountain Dew are totally different things.
Oh, shit.
There's your title.
Now, on the other hand...
No, tell me the truth, though. Weren't you worried at one point they were going to use extreme without the E on it just to really bring it home?
Yeah, I really was.
Yeah.
I was looking at it and I'm thinking, no, don't do it.
Keep the E.
I had a real
E.
moment. On the other hand, now, Sinestro #1 was quite promising. I was really, really, really happy with this. After being brought out of self-exile by Lysa or whatever the fuck.
Well, come on. But you can't skip, like, basically it starts, Sinestro is pitch black. Like, he's on a fucking deserted planet fighting space jungle cats.
Yeah, that's his self-exile.
He's a pink-skinned jungle cat killing badass.
Because that's his world, damn it.
And you gotta love the fact that they keep learning and they're getting smarter, and it doesn't piss. It just like makes it. It's like, now I have to kill you in new ways.
Right. Now the thing is, he finds out that there are surviving Korrigarans or Korrigarians.
I have
or
no
whatever
idea.
the fuck it is.
Karugans.
Karugan. The thing is, he's got to go Pokemon style on it and collect them all. To do that, he needs the fucking core. And to do that, he's got to go against Arkillo again and, reassert his alpha dominance.
Which would take like 3 minutes. Like,
Yeah, because it did. It was 4 fucking pages.
Let's
in
be
this book,
honest.
which is accurate.
Sinestro Arkillo is basically Butch Cassidy versus Harvey Logan.
Who's Harvey Logan?
Harvey Logan is the guy Butch Cassidy kicks in the nuts at the beginning of Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
I knew that.
I
Nobody
was
else
actually
did.
really disappointed with you. Well, yeah, I'm like, no, dude.
It's been a long time since I've seen that flick. And I guarantee that 4 out of 5 listeners of this show have never seen it.
Oh, that hurts me.
I used that on Twitter the other week. I said, you keep thinking, Butch, this is what you're good at.
Dude, I've said that to you about 2 bajillion
One
times.
person knew what the fuck that was.
I got vision, the rest of the world's wearing bifocals. But yeah, Sinestro, now I gotta give credit to Cullen Bunn for finding a way to make Lissa Dark even more creepy and unpleasant.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was...
When you whittle the Book of Parallax into your own tongue, you a super freak.
Yeah.
When you were the kind of woman that Rick James is like, no, I'll catch the next one.
The thing is, wow. That is rare form, sir.
You don't get a lot of comic podcasting Rick James jokes, and that's a sad thing.
There's not enough Rick James in comics. Another title?
Rick James Action Comics.
Now, we end with finding out that for some god-awful reason, the Corps has Ceranic. Or Ceranic. I think it's Ceranic myself.
Ceramic?
Ceranic.
I've never been able to do that one.
Ceranic Natu, his daughter.
Dude, Arkillo's an idiot.
Like, he's a total moron. And didn't he get his fucking tongue ripped out already?
My whole... that guy's been fucking... First off, he's probably got 13 of them. He's a fucking bull-weevil-looking filth magnet. But...
Bull-weevil-looking filth...
How do you come up with a genius plan that not only pisses off all of the fucking Guardians and the Green Lanterns and Sinestro. Let's kidnap the one person.
I can't get past that.
It's like, let's get the mob guy's daughter who's engaged to the Green Beret. Like, no.
Yeah, that's right.
You stupid fucking monkey humping so-and-so. This is like action movie one of like...
That's amazing.
Fucking Michael Pear out of Streets of Fire coming back to
Holy
save his ex-girlfriend from Willem Dafoe. Yeah, I made a Streets of Fire reference. That's fucking...
Holy crap. You're...
No one knows what I'm talking about there.
I've seen that movie once in the 80s.
I love that movie.
I'm glad you do. But it's all... I mean, we only got one book left, dude.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't... did you care about fucking Overture?
I have not read all of them, and it was extremely confusing.
Well, this is only number 2 anyway.
I don't know if I've read one.
Well, fuck it then. We got one book left.
Neil Gaiman is back, and he's more confusing than ever.
That's the summary for Overture 2. But the remaining book is, in fact, Batman 30.
Ah, okay.
So the Riddler still has the fucking city in thrall.
Well, thank God, because Gotham's never been in jeopardy before, or, you know.
I'm so glad that this innovative bout of storytelling has occurred. Bat meets this kid trying to beat the Riddler at his own game. Of course, the kid ain't gonna fucking make it.
But, you know, when you have to ask a random vigilante you found on the street for answers to crossword puzzles,
Yeah,
you're
that's
probably
not
not
gonna
beating the Riddler in a
No.
brain twister.
Gordon meets with commandos trying to cut a deal, and I'm just, I can't give a fuck about this storyline.
You know what? I both do and don't. The art is great.
Well, I mean, Capullo is unfucking rivaled.
Gordon as a vigilante inside the city is a cool concept.
That's all right.
Like getting the team in and then finding out they're there to fuck it. Like that's it. Like Jim Gordon is another guy on the fucked by life list.
He is, man.
It's like, yeah, my daughter's paralyzed. Oh, my wife left me. My son's a serial killer. My best friend is a vigilante millionaire who banks
And
supermodels
his name
and
might
shares
as well
nothing.
be fucking Matt Murdock.
Yep. Yeah. Jim Gordon. If you have a timeline of Jim Gordon's key moments in comic books, it looks like a fucking dog park in the amount of shit that's lying around. Not cool.
That's terrible. It is true, but it's terrible.
But,
I'm so ready for this fucking Year Zero shit.
Yeah, the Year Zero, I'm not a huge fan, but this is a badass Riddler. Like, this is a guy who's fucking one step ahead of the game, and they've really nailed, and not everybody does, the dichotomy of here's a guy who's fucking balls-ass crazy, but he follows his own rules.
All
Like,
right.
You get the riddle right, you get to win something.
All right, I can see that.
So they've really got the Riddler down. And I also like how half-assed this guy... Because the Riddler in the costume was always kind of... I put question marks on my fucking jacket. I saw it on the guy who had the coupon book, and it seemed like...
The guy with the coupon. Oh, what was his name? Matt?
The fuck if I can remember.
Who knows?
The Answer Man or some dumb... No, that was the guy in the back of D.C. back in the day.
Yes.
Wow. I am a dork.
Holy shit.
But, yeah, so I am ready for Year Zero to be over. I think a freaking Gotham City destroyed, run over from everywhere. Like, this just doesn't happen. Like, the government gets involved. Like, oh, the riddle bombs might blow up. Yeah, no.
So?
No, we're not
Riddler
having
doesn't
ones-
have enough henchmen to make it not worth the army's while to just walk in there. You know? He doesn't. You know, it kind of worked in a movie because it's compressed and the scale is tremendous, and moviegoers are a lot more forgiving about dumb plot points.
I can't forget that there was already No Man's Land and
Yeah.
this and that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I know it's the new 52, but I've read a whole lot of old DC,
Yeah.
and y'all done this.
This is played the fuck out.
But they're doing so well with the Riddler. I have to give them credit.
Yeah, the Riddler himself is doing okay.
But
It's
at the
just-
same time, like,
the Mylou is not so much.
and Where's everybody else? Like, I know it's year one, but
Well, I mean, he hasn't recruited anybody else yet.
there were no villains. Like, Batman's first villain was the Riddler. Or...
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, yeah, that's a good question. It might be. That might be what they're shooting.
I'm just
for
excited that I don't have to read about Man-Bat for a fucking month. Like,
Yes, please, for God's sake.
5 Batman books. Which,
Get
and
the
fuck you for
fuck
that, by
out
the
of
way.
here with
But
Kurt
now-
Langstrom.
Not one Man-Bat story, which has not happened since 52 started, it feels like.
Yeah. So, let's end the night with a notification to the listeners.
Oh, what's up?
Now, I don't remember how they came to my house. I don't remember asking for them. I'm sure I said yes to some promotion and made a mistake doing it.
Herpes?
No. But I now have,
Herpes?
no, a 12-inch Luke
You lying
Skywalker.
motherfucker.
A 12-inch Luke Skywalker figure and a 12-inch Stormtrooper. And I don't give a fuck about them.
Dude, the ones like this?
Yeah.
From the 70s?
No. New trend. New line.
Oh, okay.
New line. You know, the old ones, fuck yeah, I'd keep those.
I have a 12-inch Stormtrooper.
I know you do. But
And kids, I'm not talking about it. No, I totally am talking about a toy.
I don't need them. I would love to give them to a listener.
Ooh, I feel like we have to have a trivia contest. Like, you got to earn that. That shouldn't just be like no, I mean, most of our contests are based on send us a text.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and if you want, take a box of shit books, too. Just tell us you want some comics. If we haven't given you one before, we'll give you one now.
I feel like we should open this up, like post a quiz, or first person to get or most get the dumbass things that I ask correct. You should work for those.
All right, you write up some questions. I will Twitter them, and we will give away some giant-ass Star Wars action figures.
Pretty goddamn cool.
Sound like a plan, kids? Yay!
Yay!
Of course it sounds like a plan, Tech Jedi.
I love Star Wars, and I love toys. You got your Star Wars on
In
my toys.
You got your toys in my Star Wars. Ew. So, yes, we're going to give you this promotion. We're going to think up some fucked up questions for you to answer. Whoever answers, I'm going to determine whether it's good enough, and I will send you fucking action figures. So how's that sound?
Now, are you going to send both, or are you going to
One at a time.
All right.
One figure, one winner.
All right, like it. So you at least 2 winners.
Yes. So, having established all that, the only thing left, Monsieur?
Cake?
No, there's no cake tonight.
Son of a bitch.
Sign off already.
Oh, bless you fuckers.
Good night.
The Mean Geek is recorded live at the Reverend Mad Duck's apartment whenever the hell we can get to it. Find us on Facebook, Stitcher, Twitter under @TheMeanerGeek. Subscribe to us through RSS.
Or we can be located at our own site, www.themeangeek.com, and most importantly of all, you can find us as a proud member of the Comics Podcast Network.
Email us directly at themeanergeek@gmail.com.
Can I drink now?
You may.